Hey, Tom Rabbit! I hope you got this for your recording. Hey, YouTube out there. Tom Rabbit likes to record these. Hey, Tom Rabbit!
Oh, Vekl, how many mad back channels did you get from Darth?
Yeah, I haven't gotten any negative messages from Darth.
Oh, he's pissed at you.
Yeah, that's just Darth. He'll be okay.
I don't know. He sounded pretty mad.
He and I, we go way back.
Yeah, he's.
So
That almost makes it seem like you think he's always okay, but I think he's always not okay.
if he's in the room right now, I bet you I'll go in there and he'll probably say something here and there, and then he'll probably want to have a private chat with me, and then everything would be fine. Just it's fine.
That response
So
is
you're
so
like-
Vekel.
That's what brothers do, man. That's what brothers do.
That response is
he'll
so
spank
Vekel it isn't
you.
funny.
He'll spank you. You'll say thank you, sir, and then you'll be good, right?
Yeah, why do you like being a cuck, dude?
Sure.
Yeah, he said, yeah.
Do you know why?
It's all good,
Do you know why he's mad at you?
I got nothing but love for the guy. He knows.
Okay, simp.
Yikes.
He knows I love him. So.
Do you know why he's mad at you?
Why? He's a terrible person.
Oh.
No. I think.
Can I just run this down real quick? I'll get the groundwork, and then we can all chime in with the ancillary points and stuff like that. Do you know why he's mad at you, Vekl?
The only thing I could think of was maybe a couple weeks ago. Man, I'm trying to think. It's on the tip of my tongue. Shoot, it was. It had something to do with my association with someone else. I think that he had a problem with. I think that's what.
No.
You know what it was? All right, I remember. It was simply something that I constantly criticize him for. I said that I really wanted to hear what the atheist interlocutor he was discussing with had to say before he started cutting him off, and I think he got offended and thought that I was accusing him of of being impatient, which I believe he was actually. So
No, that's not it.
And I said, and I said, Darth, listen, man, simpletons like me, man, I really want to learn what both sides have to say in a discussion like that. And he got a little disturbed, perturbed, but not, enraged or anything like that. So it's all good, man.
Yeah, none of that's it. He's mad that.
What is he?
I'm trying to tell you. Yeah. He's mad that you said that you've only heard him give the gospel once.
Okay.
Did that ring a bell?
Yeah, I said I might have heard him once give the gospel. Yeah.
Sorry, say that again?
Yeah, I did say that. Yeah. Oh, so that's what he's mad at me for?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You have any idea why he would be mad about that?
He's
what's your thought process right now?
The only thing I could
I know
because it might tarnish his reputation as an apologist in the community. I think that in the Christian community, I should say, and this is in no way asserting that he's a heretic or anything of the sort. It's just that the 90% of the time when I'm listening to Darth, he can get mad if he wants, but this is the fact. 99% of the time when I'm listening to him, I'm learning a lot, but I don't hear very much about, the gospel. I hear mostly about,
the necessity of the necessity of the necessity.
Which is fine. I think if the conversation gets long enough, he'll eventually get to the gospel. But if that's what he's mad at me for, I mean that's fine with me. But he'll get over it.
Yeah, well, he's not going to get over it unless when you get in that call, you concede that you're wrong.
Yes, he will. Trust me, he will.
Well, he will if you concede. So you're just saying that you're going to concede, right?
We've bumped heads many times on different things, and it's fine. Darth is not as mean as look. He's not this as mean as a guy as you guys like to paint him out to be. Okay.
Yeah.
But Vekel, he's racist.
Yeah,
he's mean. He's a liar.
Look, hold on. Just before we get into that, just before we get in.
How you know he's racist? See, That's something I've never heard before. How you know he's racist?
I was gonna let Tom go before I go.
Has he said something about
I mean,
Mexicans, or what did he say?
okay. No, look, just hold on a second. Just hold on a second. Jeez. He said that I'm actually trying to find the clip, but
Okay.
it didn't seem like he was just like a little peeved. He said the comment that you made when he heard it, he was shocked and disgusted.
Okay. Now, Tom, you know that when you play these clips, that when you try to expose people or stuff like that, oftentimes I find that it's just an exaggeration on your part, where you're actually bringing the receipts, but you often exaggerate it before you play the clip, and then when we hear the actual clip, it's not that big as you make it out to be. You're kind of like a false advertising kind of thing going on there. So I still want to hear the clip, but I'm almost certain that it's not nearly as bad as you're making it out to be. But let's
Do you think that the words shocked and disgusting won't be in the clip?
No, that sounds like something he would say, but I mean, you're making it sound like he was moving furniture at the time he was saying. Like Darth is not worried about little old me making a comment like that, especially
No,
when
he is.
type of
Absolutely is.
community. I mean,
I'm trying to find it for you right now.
if he's sent me a message, let me see if he sent me anything on Discord. Let me see. No, he hasn't sent me anything on Discord. He hasn't sent me any messages here in Clubhouse. Yeah, usually when Darth is that pissed with me, he will send me a message, and a private message, and saying, "Hey Vekl, can you talk?" Like last year, as a matter of fact, he sent me a private message about he thought that I had accused him of something, but it was a wrong person though. I forget.
Oh, he mistook you for someone else, did he?
He mixed me up with
Another black guy?
someone else.
Was it?
No, that.
Mm-hmm.
Is that when he called you a spirit chunker?
Okay, whatever.
Do you think it's racist to use the N-word, Vekl?
Only within context, yeah.
Okay, I have the clip.
You're doing it with the intent to bring verbal harm, I guess. Yeah, sure.
I have the clip.
Okay, let's hear.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't have anything to add. I was listening. I've heard people say you've discussed Islam. That's the first time I've heard you discuss it.
I discussed Islam on dozens and dozens and dozens of occasions.
I've heard that, but that's the first time I've heard you do it.
Yeah, well, do you know who Vekl is?
Oh, Vekel. Yeah, no, we're quite good friends. Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to a live stream of his, and to my utter disgust and shock, he was throwing me under the bus and saying, "Well, I've only heard Darth mention the gospel once." I mean, absolutely absurd for somebody like that who knows me from the Google Plus days when I have shared the gospel on innumerable times. So I have discussed Islam on many dozens and dozens of occasions.
Yeah, well, I don't think there's anything wrong with not discussing Islam. That depends who's present. I mean, today you got a guy, and I was only in for the last couple of minutes, so.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh boy.
You're in trouble.
Guess I'm in trouble.
So do you think that I was being hyperbolic or misrepresenting anything there? Or was it the case that what I said was almost verbatim what Darth said with context provided?
No, I when you asked me before, when you quoted him and then asked me, does that sound like something Darth would say? I said, yeah, actually, it does sound like something he would say. Yeah, so I, I agree. I agree with you. Um, well, I guess I don't have anything more to say except for the rest. I would have to talk to him face to face. If he wants to, I'll be more than happy to do that. But as far as me throwing him under the bus, that if you watch the video, that was not me throwing him under the bus. So, but anyway,
What did you actually say? You think?
I don't even remember exactly what I said. The only criticism I gave him was that I would like him to be more patient with some of his interlocutors, so I can get a better understanding of how to respond in the future if someone were to raise such objections to me. But I've never said that he never preaches the gospel or anything like that. And it seems to
That's not what
me,
he said. He said that you said it once. Now,
well, I'm
Vekel,
sure he's done it multiple times, but I can only remember, and maybe he's said it in front of me multiple times, and I just didn't know. Because when Darth is involved in these discussions, um, and because I don't have the ability to chime in uh, like I can with other conversations, most of the time I just got my mic on mute and I'm walking away from the mic, uh, so I might miss certain parts of the conversation. So it's possible that there's been a lot of times when I've walked away from the mic and he might have said, like explicitly spoke about the gospel directly without, saying anything else. And I
like
might,
you might have it might have
but
just been happenstance that you missed it, like
yeah,
all the dozens of times that he's done it, right? But let me ask you another question, right?
yeah.
Do you think he's mentioned Jesus more than Massimo Pigliucci or Stephen Law or Graham Oppie or PZ Myers or James Garfield? Do you think he's mentioned Jesus? If we did a word cloud, do you think that Jesus would come out on top?
Uh,
Or I can throw in another one. Do you think he would be saying it more than even Shannon Q Duck Lips?
when do all of those people say Jesus in a vain fashion, or
No, I'm saying that like
there's a difference between saying
he
his
talks
name?
to those people and he will
Yeah,
invoke those names much more often than he invokes the name Jesus Christ as an apologist.
yeah. I would be careful with that because again, when he's invoking the name Jesus, that's not the same as him. Uh, you know, talking about giving references to other, you know, theologians or philosophers and so on and so forth. Darth wouldn't put them up to par with Jesus.
Oh, like the name Shannon Q Duck Lips is some sort of like proper name, like rooted in academia that he's like making a citation of? Because usually it's just saying Shannon Q Duck Lips, Matt Dillabloviator, things like this.
Okay, so what's that got to do with the gospel?
Well, Jesus is a part of the gospel, is he not?
Yeah, but what I'm not making a connection between.
Yeah, so the
I'm talking
connection
about,
is that he's talking about not the gospel more than the gospel,
oh, I see what
which
you're
I
saying. Okay.
with what you are saying, and I would agree with what you're saying.
Well, all I'm saying is that the majority of the times, and he can get upset with me if he wants. It's fine. He's not going to stay upset with me. I know. And if he wants to talk to me, I'll be more than happy to talk to him or anybody else. But my personal observation, uh, I think he does a really good job defending the faith, defending the tenets of Christianity. But when it comes down to just the simple, basic gospel, um, I think I might have heard him once, like really, really give it in full detail. But I'm sure he's might have done it other times, but either I missed it or what. Well, yeah, I probably missed it or what. I don't know. I'm not going to say that he never preaches the gospel or that he refuses to do so. It's just
Well, I
that,
think maybe your comment I think maybe your comment is going to be doing God's work, because I don't see how, with this criticism being raised by you, that he just doesn't have the frequency of talking about Jesus and the gospel more.
I don't see it as a criticism. I'm just
in fact, I think he'll do the opposite. He's going to be talking about a lot more to counter your criticism.
Yeah, I'm sure. But opinions are opinions, you know, everyone has one. And I can only speak subjectively based off of my own personal observations. So, but me saying that I've only heard him say it once, thoroughly and succinctly, doesn't mean that he never does it, or that he refuses to do it, or that he doesn't know it. So I'm just speaking very simplistically that the majority of the time I hear him speak, it's usually he's defending the faith or debunking atheism. Very little, you know, again, I don't hear a lot of time spoken of regarding the gospel, but he's defending the gospel. But there's a difference between defending the gospel and actually preaching it. Those are two separate things. They're both facets of evangelism, but they're not the same thing.
So Darth's strategy is something like, look, I mean, I think it's bullshit. I'll be quite honest with you, right? I think that Darth is just primarily in it to, pwn and extract dopamine and narcissistic supply. But let's just say that Darth has this professed plan, a course of action in which to accomplish his goal of saving people from the fire, right? Saving people. So, and his sort of course of action is to, like, one, they must be humiliated first. They must be destroyed first. Their worldview has to be crushed, because if that's not the case, then they're not actually susceptible to the gospel of Christ. So, according to him,
he says that.
According to him, almost every atheist he's talked to is crushed. So that's when the gospel comes in, right? Except no.
Is that what he said? Is that his line of thinking?
Yeah. And so that's when the gospel should be coming in, right? Because now the field has been tilled and it's ready to just, here we go, and this is what we've all been waiting for. I don't see a lot of planting of seeds. I don't see any of that like stuff. All I see is a bunch of like grandstanding, reliving past war stories, and crotch chopping about so and so who was humiliated by Darth. And to me, that does not sound like the gospel. Does it sound like
making fun of minority groups?
Sound like the gospel to you?
I would say I'd rather talk to him to get his perspective on things, since he is a professed Christian. So it'd be better if I talk to him directly, and he knows how to contact me. So, but I think that the gospel should take precedence over defeating the atheist worldview. I think, you know, all other things outside of that is at some level, not totally, at some level, a form of entertainment, to be honest with you. I mean, we are obligated to give an answer for the hope that's within us, 1 Peter 3:15. But there's no biblical obligation to crush the atheist worldview, from what I understand in Scripture. I think that's something.
Oh, yes, there is. Darth will quote it for you.
Where's
it's even in his profile, right?
Where's the verse?
We are commanded to destroy all.
I don't see a verse in the Bible that says that.
So the Darth's profile.
Okay, well, so he provides a verse.
I actually wanted to ask you a question really quickly.
I don't. Well, real quick. You might see
sure.
such as I think it's in Romans. I forget the chapter where it talks about the mouth of the heretics must be stopped. But that's about it. That's talking about heretics who have crept into the church and preaching false doctrine. With regards to practicing apologetics, though, I don't think that's a, a priority rather, for any Christian to have to destroy the atheist worldview. I think that's the power of the gospel has its own power to do that. But as far as the Christian going around looking for opportunity to destroy the atheist worldview, I don't see any scripture that supports such a notion. But it at the same time, it is lawful. I don't see any condemnation to it either. So I think Christians
Here's a
have
quote.
to do
I
that.
found it. 2 Corinthians 10:5. We are destroying sophisticated arguments and every exalted and proud thing that sets itself up against the true knowledge of God, and we are taking every thought and purpose captive to the obedience of Christ.
Yeah,
This is
I
like
think
Darth's
that.
battle cry.
Yeah, I take that as to mean that's not an instruction given to us to go look for atheists to have whose worldview we can destroy, but rather just to kind of counter the heretical arguments that might come against Christianity. Um, it doesn't make that a priority for every Christian. I would say I think that's something that we have the liberty to do as Christians, uh, but that's not something that's a priority. At least that's what I would say. So, in other
Can I
words,
just
because that passage is there, I'm not going to condemn Darth Dawkins for doing what he does, because I actually appreciate what he does. But at the same time, the gospel must take precedence first. The it- who Christ is, what He's done, and then I think all other things afterwards could come in afterwards. After that, um, but
And
again,
there's one other thing why I think Darth is mad at you, right? And it's very related, but it's simply because of the case that you have known Darth for what, probably
yeah,
like 7 years or something like that now.
that yeah,
And that means that you're not just some Johnny come lately. You've been around across multiple platforms, G
yeah,
plus,
yeah,
Discord,
and we've bumped before, yeah,
yeah, and now Clubhouse, right? So because of that, if it was someone else who said what you said, it wouldn't matter. But because you have all that experience, it has weight to it. You understand? So
okay,
it means something because you've been there the whole time. And for you to have that authority about what he said, what he's not said, right? And to say, I've only heard him say the gospel once in 7 years, it's something that has weight, right?
yeah, I see what you're saying, yeah. So you're
So it
saying,
makes him look
yeah,
bad.
he has a certain level of respect for me, and when he heard me say that, he was personally offended. Is that what you're trying to say?
I wouldn't use this term respect. I would say that he had certain expectations of you. He's probably surprised that you said what you did because considering in his mind, considering that you've had such a long history
Yeah,
across various platforms, you would be in the know about like how many times that he has given the gospel. But
yeah,
apparently not.
right. And again, I much rather go into much further detail with my disagreements with him when in one-on-one private conversation.
I'm sorry I took up so much time, but I really wanted to just lay this all out for Vekel and then just kind of.
Now, I appreciate. I had no idea that he was that upset with me. So I'm gonna send him a message right away.
Did you get that, Tom Rabbit?